What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Communication, what a wonder of the modern age. Our ancestors, bless their hearts, communicated with carrier pigeons, smoke signals, and God forbid actually talking to each other face to face, the poor souls. We, however, live in an age where communication is so instantaneous, so all-pervasive, that it might as well be the air we breathe. We have smartphones that grant us access to every morsel of knowledge humanity has ever gathered. We can reach out to someone halfway across the planet in milliseconds. We have email, video calls, texts, Slack, Zoom, Teams, TikToks, and whatever other form of emoji-laden shorthand is in vogue this week. We have AI that talks to us, smart devices that listen to us, maybe a bit too much, and virtual assistants that will cheerfully tell us with the weather or remind us when we've left the oven on. And yet, and this is a big yet, despite all this glorious, almost omnipotent communication technology, here in the world of construction and demolition, the breakdowns in communication are nothing short of legendary. Picture this. A lone excavator stands forlorn and unused on a site for days, weeks, possibly even months. It sits there, a monument to human inefficiency, silently racking up higher fees for every single moment it remains untouched. It's a machine that could and should be elsewhere, tearing down buildings, digging foundations, making some noise and earning its keep. But here it sits, because someone, somewhere, forgot to send a quick message saying, "Hey, we're done with this. You can pick it up now." You know the best part? It could have been sorted in 2 seconds. Just one text message, off-hire the machine, done. But no, we let the equipment gather dust and the bills pile up, and only once the accounting department threatens to riot do we stop to wonder, wait a minute, why is that excavator still here? But that's just the beginning. The wonders of modern communication, or the lack thereof, don't stop at idle machinery. We have people, actual human beings, arriving on site for jobs that frankly don't even exist. Yes, while the rest of the world is making plans for an efficient workforce management, we in the realm of construction are still figuring out how to tell someone, "Hey, don't come in today, there's no work for you." Imagine the poor souls who show up, flask in hand, only to be greeted with, "Oh yeah, sorry, you're not needed today." Not just once or twice. This happens repeatedly, as if some strange cosmic force demands that we continually waste time, fuel, and energy, shuffling people around from site to site like pawns in a construction worker's chess game. And then, as if to really twist the knife, we sometimes send these people to the wrong site entirely. For the grand finale in this circus of miscommunication, we have the infamous PPE debacle. Some poor sap shows up on site ready to work, fully suited up in their very best and entirely legal personal protective equipment, only to be sent home. Why? The PPE is the wrong colour. Yep, because nothing says workplace efficiency quite like sending home a perfectly capable worker because their high-vis doesn't match the fashion police's very specific safety palette. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, what's more important, getting the job done or making sure everyone looks like they're part of some dystopian colour-coded labour force? And let's not forget the pièce de résistance of our communication failures, the diesel fuel that never arrived. You'd think with all our schedules and project management apps that ordering fuel for the site would be a top priority. You'd think. But no. One forgotten email, one miscommunication, and suddenly the entire site grinds to a standstill. Excavators, trucks, dozers, machines worth millions of pounds left powerless, silent, and completely useless because someone forgot to hit send on an email. So here we are in the year 2024, surrounded by communication technology so advanced that it can practically read our minds, even though it probably shouldn't. And yet we're still making the same mistakes our forefathers made when they had to yell across the construction site to be heard. All this fancy tech, and somehow we're still stuck with breakdowns in communication that lead to unnecessary costs, wasted time, and endless frustration. But don't worry, there's hope. Maybe, just maybe, one day we'll figure out how to communicate effectively in construction. Maybe we'll get to a point where people, machines, and schedules will align like the stars in a perfectly coordinated galaxy. Maybe. Until then, we'll just have to keep muddling through, sending people to the wrong sites, forgetting to off-hire machinery, and waiting in vain for that diesel that never arrives. Because if there's one thing those in construction know how to do well, it's soldier on through the chaos, with or without proper communication.